So now we come to chapter 3. So from John the Baptist to Jesus, now we come back to John the Baptist, chapter 3. Chapter 3 actually focuses a lot on John the Baptist. Of course, you know, in the beginning part, especially the first 20 verses, and later on to Jesus' baptism. Okay, a little bit about Jesus. Okay, now we go to our text. Open to chapter 3.
It was the 15th year of the rule of Emperor Tiberius. Pontius Pilate was governor of Judea. Herod was ruler of Galilee, and his brother Philip was ruler of the territory of Iturea and Trachonitis. Lysanias was ruler of Abilene, and Annas and Caiaphas were high priests. At that time, the word of God came to John, son of Zechariah, in the desert.
Okay, so we go to John the Baptist. Debbie, okay, tell me about the timing of the ministry of John the Baptist.
It was the 15th year of the rule of Emperor Tiberius.
Yes.
Pontius Pilate was the governor of Judea.
Yes.
Herod was the ruler of Galilee.
Which Herod was this? There are many Herods in the Bible.
Herod the Great.
No, Herod the Great has already died. So this is Herod Antipas. Herod Antipas, okay?
And then Herod's brother Philip was the ruler of Iturea.
Iturea and Trachonitis. Okay, and then
Lysanias was the
Lysanias was the ruler of
Abilene.
And then one more. Apart from all these rulers, something about a governor of Judea. Who was the governor of Judea at that time? Who was Roman? Pontius Pilate. Did you say that earlier on? Yeah. Okay, sorry. Okay, you said that. Right, so, yeah, today when we talk about events, we say, you know, this is the year 2008, 2007, but those days there was no calendar. So, they mark their main events through who is the ruler, okay? Who is the emperor, who is the ruler of this place. Now, when Herod the Great died, okay, he had his country divided into 4, and each of his sons took over a quarter of each part of that area. So that's why in the old text it's called a tetrarch. They're given the title tetrarch, but in your new version it's called ruler. Okay, so that's why you have so many rulers in the different areas. If you go back again to the introduction in Roman numeral 8, page 8, introduction. You have this family tree of Herod the Great. Go back to it, you know. You've got to get familiar with it so you know who is who. Right? A bit revision again. Herod the Great was the King Herod at Jesus' birth. All right? But when he died, sometime in 4 BC, he died 4 BC, his kingdom was divided into 4. Now he had these 5 sons. Aristobulus, Herod Philip I, Archelaus, Herod Antipas, and Herod Philip II. Now, okay, from here you know that a little introduction here about Herod Philip I being the first wife as Herodias. Later on we'll talk a little bit of Herodias at the end of this chapter. But the first 2 sons somehow are not mentioned, not really prominent. Subsequently, you find that Archelaus was given a governorship of Judea, Idumea, and Samaria. But because he was quite wicked, all right, the Jews make a petition to the Roman emperor against him, and he was removed from his office. And that's why you have a Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, being governor of Judea at the time of Jesus. Okay? And then Herod Antipas, tetrarch of Galilee. In the new version, you're called ruler, Galilee and Perea. And Herod Philip II, tetrarch of Iturea and Trachonitis. Now, if you turn to the back of your book now, you will have a map of Palestine during Jesus' time. It's a very simple map. Now you should familiarize yourself with it again and again. So you have a rough idea of where these rulers are. And some of these rulers, like Herod Antipas, would travel from Galilee down to Jerusalem. Okay? And of course, River Jordan. Now look at the map again, because we're going to, a lot of events in this chapter is going to be centered around the River Jordan today. So we look a bit more at the map. Sea of Galilee, River Jordan, and then the Dead Sea down there. All right? Have a look, have it visual in your mind before we go further. Right? Right. About Annas and Caiaphas were high priests. Now, why is this unusual? Why is this unusual? Normally, how many high priests are there? There's usually only one high priest. Okay, there are many priests, but there's only one high priest. Why were there two high priests at that time?